Well, we just did a bunch of ODA glaze, considering the secrets of the One Piece, right? They made a new announcement saying, hey, the One Piece and its secrets, it's been hidden. We're gonna plant that shit and you guys can go find it. And now we did the glaze, let's do some slander. Why ODA needs to get cancelled. So we got the Pew Piece here coming in, just One Piece enthusiast coming with an SBS, right? Some interview stuff from ODA. And here it is. So reader asks, hello ODA sensei, for people in One Piece who dress like this, and let's look at the outfit. Nami, Elbaf outfit, crazy lines over here, but here's the outfit, all right? So people who dress like this, referring to the high cut outfits in the image, one image is Nami's Elbaf skirt outfit, right? Image is the Kuja skirt outfit. Are they not wearing any underwear? Pantsu. ODA. Of course they aren't! I mean, how would they even wear anything under that? Can you please stop ruining our dreams? And a lot of the veteran otaku, the weebs, the OGs, they would say based, they would say culture, they would say yes, we love fan service, we love objectifying fictional women and big titties, big ass. It's an essential, you know, just theme of anime culture. It is. Fan service like that is integral. But here's the thing. There is a different motion and a wave of Puritans that despises fan service and any objectification of women in fiction. A lot of the stereotypes with those type of people are what? The new crowd of people coming in who are tourists, who don't know anything about anime of the past, simply started watching anime because of the explosion during COVID through shows like Demon Slayer and so on, and they're getting kind of caught off guard. And there's a lot of statements that I've read, you know, just people just slandering ODA about this. And it's funny to me because it kind of feels like this kind of analogy. It's ODA feels like the OG unk that's pulling up, saying some crude jokes at the family table at Thanksgivings. And all the Gen Alpha, Gen Z kids who are so against fan service, who are so Puritan in nature, are gonna say, I can't believe you would do this. You should get canceled, is the overall themes that I am reading. Let's read some of the replies. ODA, why? Why couldn't you just be a normal ass ninja? And this is a very interesting take. Because basically, why are they saying this? Basically, this is fan service is bad. If you objectify women, if you sexualize fictional characters that are women, this is, I guess, misogynistic. It's not politically correct. This isn't how you would behave in real life. Obviously, this is not fucking real life. This is fiction and reality. You can't, you know, separate the two. And a lot of people have this super anti-fan service. This isn't even about lollies, by the way, right? If it was the lolly content, I think it'd be even more nuclear. This is about just grown-up adult proportions looking sexy. This just in, finding women attractive is a bad thing, according to random people on the internet. Kind of seems like that. So going by your comment, you think perversion is normal. Perversion. Objectifying women. Fictional women. Making them put in sexy outfits. Yeah. It's just natural. I don't know. It's like, and also, girls want to feel sexy too. Girls don't pick ugly characters to cosplay as. This notion that like, women can't be objectified and can't be celebrated, their bodies can't be celebrated, is a bit ridiculous to me. It's a really weird, backward way of thinking of saying anything that highlights the beauty of the female aesthetic is bad because you are a dirty man, even though this is fictional content. Fun fact, this Nami, right, apparently was based off of his wife. I don't know how true this is, but I heard that Nami basically, you know, ODA's wife, that's the whole backstory. I wonder, should we be asking ODA's wife for consent to say like, hey, is Nami allowed to dress like this? Isn't this fucking ridiculous? It's fucking crazy. It's actually crazy. It's beyond that, right? I'm willing to play the mental gymnastics, but beyond that, it's a fucking fictional character. You don't have to start going saying y'all are gay for this, but it is genuinely stupid to say this. Oda has been talking like this since 1999. Why are people in the comments always confused? Because this is a new wave of people that has no understanding of the otaku culture and how perverted it is in nature. The whole culture of being, you know, what's it called? Embraced by degeneracy. Like, why do you think, oh, you're a culture man? You know, oh, you know, we embrace, because it's integral to the thing. And if you don't like it, you should remove yourself from it. Listen, if Oda was saying this shit about a real fucking person, then obviously it's different. But so many people, again, are so unable to differentiate fiction from reality, and they want to go on this virtue signaling tirade of being a Puritan to judge others for their love of fan service, when that element is critical and core to this culture in a nutshell. It's crazy. It's actually crazy. You are seeing all these new wave of just tourists coming in that are basically just anti-otaku culture. The moment when Western Puritans realized most Japanese authors couldn't care less about you being offended by fan service, different manga, same spirit. Yeah, Fire Force recently had a huge drama with this girl showing fan service during her fight. And it's crazy because this content, why is it even popular in the first place? This is Japanese content made by Japanese mangaka. And in Shonen, in Shonen Jump stuff, it's specifically catered towards Japanese men. And you can say that it's creepy, you can say that it's weird, but this is still the essence of what makes these anime go so big and popular and viral. To suddenly show up completely unaware of how the foundations are and to start judging and saying all this shit about people who are just enjoying perversion of fiction is fucking crazy to me. Oda, why? Seeing my favorite mangaka get slandered knowing it's all true. Like, I think what's weird about Oda and some other people are their defense for, what's it called? Rurouni Kenshin's author, Watsuki, right? This guy was like a mentor to a lot of the mangaka, and they still respect the guy a lot as like a legacy person. That I can't defend. That's fucking weird. But this, like, of all things to condemn Oda for, you're gonna down a hill about Oda saying, no, Elbaf Nami does not wear panties? It would always be something funny to see people freaking out because a fictional character doesn't wear panties. Anime sure became mainstream back in the 2000s before anime became so commercial, people didn't care about any of this. Yeah, well, absolutely. There's also, you know, this awareness of, I guess, identity politics and woke culture and, you know, the left versus right and all this politics slowly being ingrained into, you know, fiction and stuff like that. Social media connecting more people that are more outspoken through anonymous profiles to condemn fiction for this kind of content. Obviously, back in the day, we didn't have those means of communication. Now you're kind of seeing how a lot of people oppose it. Always comes back to me. Meat peaked man. A lot of people kind of like shitting on One Piece, huh? The Watsuki shoutouts, though, it is fucking weird. It is weird. I'm still in pre-time skip One Piece approaching Marineford, and honestly, I'm considering outright stop watching right before the time skip because of the abysmal shit I see Oda did after that. What a fucking tourist, bro. Just drop One Piece. You're a LARPer. You're gonna drop One Piece? Because what? Because of the abysmal shit I see Oda did after that? Just drop the series, bro. Don't let the fucking door hit you on the way out. He's a man of focus, commitment, and sheer fucking will. Now it makes sense. This is some extra content. Who is forgetting this? Who is getting off to this? A lot of people. A lot of people. It's actually crazy. It's actually insane how many people are crashing out about this statement saying Nami doesn't wear panties here. Here's some quotes. Oda the millisecond One Piece ends. Everyone just gonna cancel him? Female characters don't wear underwears with small clothing unless underwears is all they're wearing. Yeah, these are the designs. Absolutely. So, like, what did these people want? No sexualization of female characters at all in fiction. They're gotta be all covered up. Is it that big of a deal? Why is it a bad thing to do? Because if women are depicted in a really sexualized way in fiction, then people consuming that content will what? Treat women like that in real life and degrade them and be misogynistic? Is that the idea? Because if we're going to go off of that principle, this is such a ridiculous idea. It goes back to video games making people violent. You know, like at the core of this, what are you trying to say? that the fictional content will inspire these people to be bad in real life? First of all, you need to be able to differentiate fiction from reality. Anyone that can't do that is a fucking animal, and you have no control over your own life. Those people are radicals on extreme ends that would have been, bad faith actors no matter what they were consuming. To condemn an entire fucking group of people who enjoys the fan service of fictional content off of this talking point of, oh my god, think about the children, think about, the depiction of women, it's fucking crazy. And beyond that, a lot of women like this too. Like, there's this weird logic of people thinking all women hate this. Just look at the most famous cosplayers. Look at how they're dressing up. Do they pick heavily censored designs? No. They're picking the sexiest outfits because women, believe it or not, can also be horny. They also want to be looking nice. They want to be sexualized and objectified, not by everyone, because obviously consent matters. But to say that women don't even want to look like this, I think is telling me that you are in such an echo chamber and your understanding of what people want is so limited due to your closed tunnel vision perspective of being a Puritan that you can't possibly comprehend sexy women wanting to be sexy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Here comes Chibi with it. I'm sure he's got a lot of things to say about this. One Piece fans are in the comments of this post wishing for the death of the author over fan service of content, Nami. Holy shit, I hate what COVID did to the anime manga community. Actual fucking psychopath that needs to be thrown in an asylum locked away. A lot of the times, Chibi makes a mountain out of a molehill. I think he's on point with this one. I agree with Chibi. This is actually like seeing this new wave of Puritans pull up. What happened? I think it's a lot of like generation of young kids that grows up watching this like political correct content and wanting to be a good person, but they can't differentiate fiction from reality, and then they go on like a crusade on fictional works and try to condemn Japanese mangaka when elements like this is core to the community and the culture, and that's why anime is so popular these days. Bro, can you imagine if Oda wrote Maki? She'd have a lot more skin showing, and I'll tell you that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The nanosecond One Piece is done, they're gonna do Oda like this. I'm gonna need Oda to wrap up One Piece up quick so we never have to hear from him again. Can someone explain how anime and gaming communities end up filled with people whose entire identity revolves around hating what originally made these hobbies popular? Oh, it's a tale as old as time. It's a bunch of left-leaning, woke, fucking fat, ugly, feminist radicals who hate objectification of women, who inserts themselves into these spaces, trying to condemn and judge people for consuming this. And what happens? You make video games, you make movies of these characters who are what? Not very pleasing to look at. They're all this random mixture of, gender identity and sexuality representing this specific group from the left. And it turns out the consumers don't give a fuck about that. Because it's a very vocal minority of people that's, basically repeating these talking points, and a bunch of people who just hates themselves and can't imagine beautiful, sexy looking characters for both men and women, then going in to censor this shit off of Puritan values, which is like, what the fuck? Listen, just because you're ugly and you hate your life doesn't mean everyone else behaves that way. Doesn't mean other people can't appreciate, sexuality and beauty within that. It's crazy. And beyond that, it's not even real. It's fucking fiction. Mind you, he could have saved us another week of slander and debates by just saying they do wear underwear. But he didn't. Because he says, don't ruin our dreams. Because that's the core OG otaku values. And if you don't like that, just stop watching. Stop reading. Robin Reed SOP. Okay, I mean, hey, it's like, it's such a weird state of affairs because of how different the otaku culture and community is, and how a lot of people enjoy these shows for the story, but then they see the fan service and they're so turned off by it, and then they condemn the entire work off of that. And you know what? I think you're free to have your own opinions about that. You know what I mean? Just as Oda can just make these statements because it's his work, he's gonna do whatever he wants, you as the consumer can also say these talking points. But like, remove yourself. If it bothers you that much, you should genuinely remove yourself rather than creating these humiliation rituals as you try to drag his name, trying to like censor and make him he's not gonna change. Tap sign. Ooh, Mother's Basement coming in with the take about this. Modern Puritans have no appreciation for just how much goodness have contributed to the development of art throughout history. Look at that ass, bro. Look at that titty. Game of billiards. I hate Puritans. I hate people who fucking hate themselves because they're probably fat and ugly. I hate how they then go on to censor and judge other people and how they can't celebrate their own beauty. Mother's Basement is absolutely cooking with this. He is an OG. He understands the core values. And it's so stupid. It's honestly so stupid how people try to shame fictional fan service. No way people calling him Oda misogynist over sarcastic when he says shit about the man to performative ass fandom. So what is underneath the leaf of wipers? Does he go commando? So this is from Skypea. Wiper, Commander Wiper, bro. Remember him with the fucking impact dial? But it wasn't just impact. It was like 10x or 100x impact. That shit was fucking hard, bro. Wiper went hard. Oh, definitely Commando. Good one. I'm positive must be, you know, I'm positive. Must be pretty tough having it swinging around during battle. That would be tough. Maybe he wears some sort of loincloth thing. Well, I don't know. Hey. So again, right, if you're like, it's already so ridiculous that you're trying to portray a guy, an author, misogynist based off of his depiction of women in fiction. But let's just play ball and let's just say that fiction is real here. The fact that he is being consistent with both male and female about this. What is he? Is he misandrist too? Is he misogynist? At the end of the day, these people are insufferable. These people are insufferable fucking losers who have this insane Puritan values that thinks that they need to censor everything. A fictional character that's celebrating her beauty, that the author literally made, you know, his wife like cosplays Nami. Do we need to get the consent of his wife? I think again, it's so ridiculous, and it just boils down to this group of people who hate themselves. They hate how they look. They're probably fat and ugly in real life, and they can't comprehend people wanting to appreciate their own beauty, wanting to be objectified with consent, of course. But beyond that, this is a fictional work. It's not even fucking real. And then to say all this shit about a man that's created this fucking insane legacy, that's wild to me. Modern day Puritans are on another level of trip. It's wild. They should just fucking remove. Like, what do you think is gonna happen? Oda, I hope he continues to goon even harder, man.